still unknown. The health department is now also looking at the possibility that it was caused by a local mutation of the coronavirus. The PNP admits there was no foul play in the death of flight attendant Christine Dacera. That's according to the medical legal report submitted by the police to the Makati Prosecutor's Office during the preliminary investigation. Army Chief Lieutenant General Cirilito Sobejana is the new Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces. And let's take a look at this vending machine in New York. It also offers COVID-19 tests. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Kicking off today's newscast with the government's top health officials volunteering to get vaccinated ahead of everyone else. With this, they hope to gain the public's trust for COVID-19 vaccines. JC Cosico tells us more.
Government officials called anew on the public to not be afraid of vaccination, as the Philippines expects to roll out COVID-19 shots soon. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. insists that the jabs will undergo strict procedures before inoculation.
The vaccines to be procured by the national government will undergo the stringent evaluation and selection process of the vaccine expert panel, the Food and Drug Administration, and our DOH.
Galvez and Health Chief Francisco Duque III have expressed willingness to be vaccinated first to improve confidence on the shots. But Duque hopes they will not be blasted for supposed VIP treatment if they do this.
Isa lang po ang amin hangarin para ipakita sa taong bayan na ito po mga bakunang ito na napili at nasuring maigi, siguradong ligtas, dekalidad, epektibo.
Talaga magpapakuna po kami kung ano po yung mauna at yun po ang maaproban ng ating vaccine expert panel at maaproban po ng EUA, ng FDA. Kami po yung magpapakuna kasama.
Duque is also urging the public to respect President Duterte's decision to receive the jabs privately. He also noted that the efficacy of the vaccine will just be the same if injected on the arm or buttocks. Palace spokesman Harry Roque had earlier said the president will require privacy because he will get injected in his behind. But the health chief hopes Duterte will still change his mind.
Hopefully, he might still change his mind because we know that there are some world leaders who have openly had themselves vaccinated in public.
Meanwhile, Galvez doubted the basis of London-based research and analysis group Economist Intelligence Unit's forecast, which said the country will only be able to inoculate 60 to 70% of its population by early 2023. The vaccine czar says the Philippines will be able to do so by the end of this year or early 2022 depending on vaccine supply.
Ang pinaka-late na delivery is Q1 of 2022. I believe mali yung yung basis ng economist dahil yung ating procurement ang timeline po niyan ang main delivery is Q3 and Q4 and also kung just in case magkaroon ng delay Q1 of 2022.
Around 1 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines from Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Sinovac are expected to arrive next month. With this, Galvez says a rollout is possible by February. Health workers from highly urbanized areas and with high prevalence of infections will first receive the vaccine. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
One health official is open to dancing if it means more Filipinos would be encouraged to get immunized against COVID-19. In an interview with One News' The Chiefs, Health Assistant Secretary Eric Tayag was tasked to prepare a master list of individuals eligible for vaccination. Although Tayag is willing to dance to promote immunization, the official candidly shot down twerking as one of the options.
Siguro I'll run a survey kung ano yung sayaw na pwede nating gawin para mainganyo. Pero sinasabi nyo nga, mas malaki ang tiwala sapagkat mataas ang rating ng ating Pangulo kung siya mismo ang mangunguna po. At yung nirekomenda nyo rin na mauna si Secretary Galvez at si Secretary Duque III.
Okay. Doc, sa pagbakuna, hindi sa pagsayaw, ang pinag-usapan natin.
Bakuna po yun, bakuna.
In the same program, Interior Undersecretary Epimaco Dinsing insisted that the government does not have double standards for health protocol violators. That's amid the recent party in Baguio that was attended by celebrities and contact tracing czar Benjamin Magalong.
Si General Sinas, he was charged in the fiscal's office. May kaso siya ngayon. So I don't think there's really a double standard. Generally, I can say we do not pass judgment even with the ordinary Filipino. We investigate first.
Speaking of that party in Baguio, Magalong is in hot water after health protocols were allegedly violated. Though he was also in attendance, he's asking the hotel to do the explaining. Romel Lopez with the details.
With several guests present, events host Team Yap held his birthday party on January 17th at the Manor at Camp John Hay in Baguio City. The media savvy that he is, he even documented on his Instagram how he and his guests passed all necessary documents to enter the City of Pines, until pictures and videos circulated online depicting how protocols were violated during the party. Among those photographed without mask, the wife of Baguio City Mayor and contact tracing czar Benjamin Magalong. The couple were guests in Yap's celebration.
Hindi ka naman perfect na tao. Baka kalimutan mo may magpapicture sa'yo, baka kalimutan mo yung mask mo, di ba? So, ganun ang nangyari doon, no? And siguro, na-star track siya kay Casey Concepcion, nakalimutan niya isuot yung mask niya. Nung nagpa-picture kami. Pero ako, every time talagang conscious ako na susuot ko talaga yung...
Guests were also snapped online for joining a cultural performance, with critics pointing that it's culturally insensitive. Add to that, a number of them were not wearing masks, something that Magalong defended.
Part of our tradition is, after a show, the cultural dancers goes down, they approach the guest, and then they invite them. Siguro, dahil sa excitement, yung mga kumakain, nakalimutan nilang isuot yung kanilang mask.
Magalong does admit, however, that violations were indeed committed. Officials are now identifying the violators. Magalong says even his wife will not be spared from penalties.
Sabi ko sa kanya, you'll be fine. Sorry, you'll be fine. Nakalimutan mo man hindi. Ganyan leadership by example the mayor finding his wife.
The Regional Tourism Department is conducting its own probe. It has already issued a notice to the hotel. The LGU also wants an explanation from the hotel venue within 72 hours.
It's about time that you have to be directly observant of the compliance of your guests on the minimum public health standard.
Health protocols are supposedly strictly implemented in Baguio, especially with neighboring Bontoc already having the British variant of COVID-19. From February 1 until February 15, temporary restricted access will be implemented in Baguio, La Trinidad, Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, and Tubay or Blist. Inter-Blist travelers must present medical documents for work or essential travel. Residents who need to enter Baguio for medical appointment need to show proof of their confirmed appointments. Those with medical emergencies and essential service providers will be allowed to pass freely. Non-resident travelers must have travel permit and medical certificate from their place of origin. For News 5, Romel Lopez. We are One News.
One health official says local mutation of the UK variant is one possible explanation on how the new COVID-19 strain reached Bontoc Mountain Province. Speaking with the chiefs, Health Undersecretary Eric Tayag explains that it's possible that mutations could have happened here in the country, even without the entry of the UK variant. Tayag noted that the high transmission rate of SARS-CoV-2 may have caused this supposed mutation. Still, the DOH Undersecretary says the main hypothesis is that foreign travelers are the main source of the UK variant here in the Philippines. One other possible explanation is that the country's biosurveillance system may have missed the index case.
Please understand that the SARS-CoV-2 mutates. It mutates because there is high transmission rates. So on its own, it mutated. So the hypothesis is, one, those cases from Bontoc were UK variant, but the mutation occurred here. It's not from an external source.
Here are the biggest stories from the Philippine Star. Still on the local transmission of the UK variant in Bontoc, the health department says over 600 close contacts of the 12 patients infected by the new strain have already been reached. These individuals are considered the first, second, and third generation contacts of the 12 cases. The DOH says they're still awaiting the swab test results of these close contacts. The PNP says there was no foul play involved in the death of flight attendant Christine Dacera. Authorities confirmed that Dacera died of natural causes in a 2-page medical legal report submitted by the PNP Crime Lab to the Makati Prosecutor's Office. The Crime Lab ruled out homicide and declared that Dacera died due to loss of blood caused by a ruptured aorta. And Army Commanding General Cirilito Sobejana is set to lead the armed forces of the Philippines by next week. Sobejana will succeed Gilbert Gapay and will be the 9th military chief under President Duterte. The government is urged to intensify its testing of imported meat after new strains of the African swine fever were detected in China. Shaila Francisco with the details.
2 new strains of African swine fever have been detected in several farms in China. More than 1,000 female pigs owned by New Hope Liuhe, China's 4th largest hog producer, have been infected. Citing industry experts, Reuters reports that illicit vaccines may have started the infections. It does not kill pigs, but causes mild infections, which reduces fertility.
Pagka yung variant mo ay ang epekto niya ay mild disease. Magtatamlay lang siya, lalagnatin siya. Ako kahirap na kanyan, nakahirap na sakit niya, no? Kasi marami sakit na ganyan ang diagnosis niya, manifestation niya. So mahirap yung management, ano?
This only reinforced the hog producers' opposition to proposals imposing zero tariff on pork imports. Producers say this will lead to more imports, increasing chances of ASF entering the country.
Bakit tayo merong malaking problema ngayon? Dahil sa importation, wala tayo nung tinatawag na first border inspection facilities.
Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG questions whether imposing zero tariff could impact retail prices. SINAG says it's the importers and traders who jack up prices. The Bureau of Animal Industry also takes note of the international market's pricey meats. While it does not discourage importation due to lack of supply, SINAG wants government to intensify testing of imported meat. The group warns the ASF virus can last 300 days on frozen meat. The BAI says it has already banned pork imports coming from China. It's also on heightened alert for processed items hand-carried by tourists from ports. As regards pig vaccines, the BAI is already in talks with 5 countries for field trials. That's in light of the illicit vaccines that have reportedly caused the new strains. But it warns it may take a long while.
Sila tinitignan po natin kung sino po yung merong best offer para po sa atin at meron po tayong technical working group na mag-evaluate po niyan para ipapasukin natin ay walang complications na mangyayari, no?
For now, the Agriculture Department has allocated 80 million pesos for ASF test kits, which may be used on fresh and processed meat. Mass production will start next month. But while vaccines and ASF test kits are yet to be ready, the country will have to cope with the pig disease's blowback.
The recovery cannot happen within 5 years. If Spain, being an EU country, needed 30 years, we will take much longer than that.
Meat Importers and Traders Association President Jess Chamfer warns there will still be pork deficit in the coming years. Shaila Francisco, VR1 News.
The country is eyeing to participate in field tests for the ASF vaccine. In an interview on 1PH's sa Totoo Lang, Agriculture Assistant Secretary Noel Reyes says ASF shots have already been developed in Vietnam and the UK. He notes that the DA is already coordinating with these countries to obtain samples of the vaccine. Reyes also noted that Central Luzon State University, in partnership with the Bureau of Animal Industry, has developed a test kit to detect ASF. He also says testing hogs for ASF will only cost 70 pesos per sample. Reyes noted, though, that only a vaccine can ultimately stop ASF outbreaks in the country.
Vaccine lang talaga ang makakasugpo ng virus. Our counterpart, Secretary William Dar, has instructed our Undersecretary for Livestock, Dr. William Medrano, to to coordinate with Vietnam and the UK and to get samples, buy samples, and have them tested here clinically and field test para malaman natin kung gaano ka-effective.
There's a handful of items that we can get in a vending machine: coffee, soda, or chips, among others. But over in the US, a vending machine will soon be offering COVID-19 tests. Wellness for Humanity unveiled a vending machine that offers COVID-19 home test kits to the public. The vending machine is contactless, and the tests are self-administered. The idea is simple: buy the test online, receive a barcode, and then show it to the scanner on the vending machine. After a few moments, a test kit will pop out. Inside the box is a vial with instructions on how to get a saliva sample. The sample will then be returned via FedEx, and patients will have to wait a day or two for the results. The company is eyeing to roll out 1,000 vending machines over the next 3 to 6 months all across America. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We're One News.